Good afternoon. Thanks to SAP to introduce the IoT thing, so I will go directly to the facts. I'm happy to be here today with you, and we're going to talk about events, IoT, and intelligent business operation, or I would rather say maybe BPM, because globally, we all know here it's about the same thing. So who are we? We are a France-based software vendor. We do BPM for almost 20 years. And we have customers in many industries. It looks like they're happy of us because 98% of them renew the maintenance. So Forrester was here this morning, so I introduced the Gartner, who talks about Internet of Things, what they call the challenge of next generation CIO, to bring together things, people, and business. So why IoT? Because IoT's driver is hype, is growing very fast, and how we can put that into a business environment. So plug IoT and BPM, business process management. So what do we have there? We have the BPM moved document at the beginning. Then now today we create citizen portals, and with the coming of things and BPM, we will provide new business opportunities. And this has been done by leveraging what gathers us in this room, BPM. We are all here BPM specialists. Did you notice that BPMN is strong in events and data? And this is the basement of what I'm going to tell you about. So we decided to embrace the notion of business moments. You know, the moment when things can move from one place to another. And we will apply that for the demo for the elderly persons. And this is a good example. So my father here started programming in the early 50s. So it's some time ago, punching cards. I'd like to tell him that BPM and IoT connected together could have helped him during his last period of life, you know? So the technology solution that we bring here is based on a BPM platform, and we will have a sensor that will trigger events to the BPM platform that is connected on the CTI with a database, mail server, whatsoever. So here is the business process. We will have the occasion during the demo to discuss the business process, but we have the sensor, which is here, this box that we have here, that will trigger events when accurate, that is worded by the person. So if the person falls, for instance, this is the basic event. She falls, so an event will be sent and will trigger a business process. But this is the second way of doing things. If the person gets back up, yeah, cool. So another event comes in and improves the way the business process is going on. So we will see how things are connected together. I had a third scenario. If the person falls in a given set of time several times, we have a KPI platform that registers every falls and then may trigger another way of running this business process. And finally, if the sensor gets out of range, we have to take an action for that to understand what happened and maybe send someone. So if we want to summarize everything there, 15 seconds. It's long, 15 seconds, in fact. The mission is done. Our mission as a software vendor is make difficult things easily. So we don't need CEP or BPMS to do this kind of things. Of course, you can take one in, but by essence, the BPMN software is available to connect to the external world, and you just have to add a small piece of thing to make BPM aware of events and external events as far as IoT is concerned. So we have implemented a BPMN2 engine where the norm BPMN2 is the algorithm by itself. We are perceived as the most faithful of the norm within the MyWig community. People are here, they could tell that. And with our software, BPMN Plus, we can embrace many use cases. So we will see the key model points, how we do the confirmation of the fault, the process instance, or how what happens when the sensor gets away. And another fact is we really put the strength on the data level of the BPMN platform to be able to handle data within, and we will see that this will help us to capture events. So as a summary, we will show the demo in 3 ways, show the sensor, how the application works, and then we will open the hook and see within the engine how things have been done to make it available. So here we have the sensor that is available here. Try to bind the sensor to my engine. So I hope that's going to work. Let's refresh the page, maybe. So this sensor is made of, this is a Raspberry Pi. So this is a big power bank in the beginning, but this is inside. And inside we've set, if that does not work, it will be difficult to show things, but I'm going to make it work. Just close the page. You know, that's the stress of the demo effect. So let's start again. 192. So it's bound. Okay, so this is a problem of refresh. So this is the sensor. I put a yellow tab there, and if it is vertical, that's okay. You see it's green on the top. If I put it there, then it's down. Put it back again, it's green. If I change it, the position. So I have here the capacity of analyzing how the sensor behaves. So there is a little piece of Python code in it that calculates the XYZ information and sends signals depending if you handle the fact that you are not vertical or not. So here, this is the first part. I will make it smaller. Here, try to have everything here available, and I will launch the application by itself. So this is based on our platform, of course, and we can see things 3 hours ago. So this is when I disconnected stuff. Don't care about that. So I have here several supporting processes that are available for this platform, and I have the subscriber full management process. So I have no instance created yet. If I take the sensor and make the elder person full, then a task is created. If he stands up back, then the task should disappear automatically. So this is the influence of that, sending signals through the Wi-Fi connection between the two engines, or between the two devices, I would say, that does that. Now, if I put it down and let it down, it will create a task, a case. And if I go to the process definition here, I have 20 seconds to do that. Okay, here I have the graphical follow-up on my process. So we see that we have a first part here where you have things blinking. When it blinks, that means that things may happen. Okay, so one of the things that may happen is that the person will stand up back. Okay, but we're going to wait for 20 seconds, so I think I'm done. If I refresh, we detect that the person didn't stand back again, and then we started the second level of the process. We waited for the confirmation of the fact that the person was down. So if I go back into my inbox, I will open a second window here. I will have a new task called subscriber. So depending on the information I have, I will have the presentation of the person. So I think the hotel is there, and this is very close here. Depending on the database we have with the CTI information, and the CTI helps us to have a connection. I would have loved to ring my phone clicking on this button, but I need to have a network connection, and I don't have any at the moment. So I would say that there is no answer. The person phoned, and of course he's not with his phone, so he can't answer. So the operator will have a second task coming in that will be able to help us to call the neighbor. And the neighbor, we know where she is. Whoops, I didn't anticipate that the screen would be that small. So we should have the picture with the place where she's located. And let's imagine there's no answer. So I decide to call emergency. So if I call emergency, then I will have a system task that will launch an email and will say, hey, I'll call the ambulance here. Because there is a problem. We don't have any way of detecting how things happen, so that makes things a bit more difficult. So if we have a look there at the processes, I would like to understand what happens. So here's the instance. If I refresh this page, here we go. This has been supported by the engine behind the scene. We can't see it. It doesn't make any noise, but we have an engine running in. So all the lighted tasks or events have been activated somehow, and then this is finished. But we also have the possibility to, I will put it back again. I just have to think about initiating screens, otherwise that may not work. So that goes these different ways. So things are moving around. This is quite classical, but we provide additional things. I will make it full again. Come back to my inbox. It will be available within a few seconds. I have some other screens I wanted to show you at that level to see how things are going. So the fact is that we have different structures of information, putting the BPMN engine with the capacity of sending information to the KPI stuff. So if I go here and now I go to the different reports, I have possible, I don't think I would put that into the hand of the business users that will be there, final users, but they have what we call the history here that shows up on one screen what is to be achieved in terms of tasks and what may happen in terms of events. So depending on where you are into the process, you will have a different set of events, but you also have the set of occurred events, so you can rebuild the way things has been done. You have the initiation, the fall. We waited for data availability. I will come back to that in a second. And then we expected the 30 seconds, 20 or 30 seconds, depending on the age of the person, to create the other set of information onto the server. So if I go to the KPI now, so you see that we have different curves coming in. And if I change this, so the sensor moves in different positions. So if I wait for 5 seconds, then another cancellation will come on the server side. And if I fall again and refresh my page, I have here the number of falls by sensor that may come. So if I put it back again, make it full, put it back again, and you see that you have different indicators coming up saying that you have the processed cases and the potential ones that I have. So I have an account of every things that is going on. And on this one, I have here the possibility to know on real time, at this time frame, how many cases I should have, how many resources I have, and many running processes I have. So given these KPIs, you can balance and anticipate the fact that you will need more people to handle the different cases, because you can't expect more than 20 seconds to pick up the phone and try to find ring the person. And while I was doing that, I was trying to change this. And you've seen that here the sensor 1, 2, 3, 4, which is this one, has reached the threshold. So I should have in my to-do list a new task telling me that someone has fallen several times and entered a different place. So if I come back here, I have the call subscriber. And if I go to the history, I see that the triggering event is not the same. I entered the same process, but I didn't go within the same event. So if I go to the graphical follow-up, I will have the information that I came there. And now what is possible is that the person gets back again or calls me, because she could call at the end of the day. So this is the third way of having influence between the different devices. And if I go now, if the subscriber out of range, so at the moment, this is the process. So this is a very simple process. I will show you how we can get the signal, because if I unplug it like this, I go in the processes, so now it's off. If I go to the instances, I should have within a few seconds something telling me that the sensor is no longer available. So it's disconnected, and the screen is gone away. Come on, here it is. And at that time, I have a new task coming in telling me, or I have here the events, that the absence of signal has been detected and that triggered a new task into the to-do list. So you see the logic. You have a sensor that triggers signals, and depending on the signal kind, you will get some information back to be processed by the engine. So now the sensor is off. So this is the part of what I wanted to show. The last thing is found interesting is if I go in the search and do, for instance, take any of them, terminated, or these are the different cases here, fault management, and I have a timeline that explains me in a synthetic way the way how things have been done. So this is really interesting on the, to see all the details of what happened if you want to be able to understand how things are going and correlate, and maybe this is a basement for optimization of what we have there. So this is the practical part. Now we'll see, no, not yet. I have a slide to finish because I have many things to reconcile. So if we consider the building of and the management of the sensor, in the sensor I have your question, and what should have a sensor provider being able to provide us. They have to be able to call a service which is a REST call, in fact, just an HTTP call, where you have to be able to know what kind of signal you have, name the signal, and provide us the definition, the BPMN definition of the signal that you can re-import into the system. And here we have the list of the different signals that are available onto the system. I have the item definition. I have the signal, sense of fall, the stand-up, the keep alive, the no signal, the no movement, or the bound. So these are the different events that have been implemented that are registered into a BPMN definition, and the definition is imported into a larger definition to make it available. So here from the fact that when we do the bind, we start up the keep alive and we loop there, and once this signal goes down, we trigger a signal to another, I would say, business process, which is the one that we've seen quickly. That's the one. No, that's not the one, that's the one. So the signal creates, and then we get the subscription from the sensor. So we have a sensor ID that is sent automatically, and I can show you that this information should be somewhere into the properties where I have the name of the signal. This is what I expect. So this is a global name. But if I go into the subscriber fault management, and when I have to do the correlation with the signals, here you can see that the signals can have a value. So this is an expression value, the rules value that we have into the engine. Wherever you want to be able to get a computation, a rule that is expressed into this tool, this is always the same language, whether you are at the signal level, event level, script level, data level, BPMN level, globally, you will have the same language. So once you get it, you are able to go throughout the different options. So this is how signal stuff are done, and this is the essence of what I wanted to show you today in terms of execution. The last part is the fact that I told you that the data was available, was a possibility of doing this, of synchronizing events. So you remember that when I create a case, let's start at the very beginning here. I have the signal that provides me a sensor ID, the 1, 2, 3, 4 I had into my screens. And here, I want this sub-process being run only if I'm doing a BPMN lesson. Maybe this is your place, Bruce, for that. I will wait for the data to be available. And in fact, this is possible, truly possible, by using just BPMN, standard BPMN, where you can compute when the sensor ID information is triggered. You have a task that retrieve the information, and I wait that the subscription here object has been initiated before I start my process. So I have nothing else than just drawing BPMN to make this application run. And this is the beauty of the stuff, because we have a very comprehensive implementation, not 100%, but we have a very good implementation of BPMN that allows us to put this to the end and the very end and not having external systems to be added to make it work. So if I wanted to summarize, this is where I can have an extra slide when I will decide of the timing I have. This is a summary. So we have the engine, which is here the platform for the communication, when I have the different definitions that are available. So this is the definition for the subscriber fall management. We wait here to confirm that the person has fallen down. We process the way given the rules that we have decided that are implemented in it. And then we have the technical piece that is here shown on the just an event management to trigger a business process where the users will be able to handle these kind of things. I could have shown you that into the composer, but maybe staying at this level is quite enough. Otherwise, we could do some programming there, but I'm not sure that I'm skilled enough for that. Okay. Thank you very much.